Hi class. Yes, we are not done yet. We still have the multidimensional array that we would need actually for your assignment too. So, or you can use it if you want to. So, this video is about two-dimensional array per se, but you can actually extend it to more dimensions. But I'm just going to show you two dimension because most likely that's what you are going to encounter, if any. If you want to, you can basically extend the idea continuously the same way. So when we think about two-dimensional array, you can think about it as an array of arrays. So so the first level of array actually is pointing to a real array. You can think about it that way. And so it means that in the first dimension, you those are addresses that point to those are basically the address of the first element of the array that they are pointing to. So let's do a demo with this exercise. So we are going to combine two one-dimensional array into a two-dimensional array and then print this array out. And I'm going to use function because just to show you how to pass a two-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array into a function. And I think we've done enough demo for today. So I'm just going to talk through this program. We have the same basically directives. We have only one function which takes in a constant array, meaning that I'm not going to do anything to the elements in the array. And then what we are going to do is to print the array. When it take on the array parameter, it actually needs to know the second dimension. So if you are passing in multi-dimension, it means you have to know the size of all the other dimensions except the first one. The first one you can put a number in there, but it wouldn't be understood by the compiler. So you have to also pass in into the function the size of this first dimension. So what this does is to print basically array A. Like I said, we are going to basically combine the arrays first, and then we call it propagate the numbers into the two-dimensional array, and then we pass it into the function. So let's maybe start from the beginning. We would use a constant to put in the size of the first dimension, and then the size of the second dimension. But of course, I'm a computer scientist. I start with the 0 and not 1. But then in the array, I use 1 and 2. So maybe that's really not so good of a practice. We can, I guess, change it. And I think this is more persistent. So that we can understand the program better. So you see the first array has 6 numbers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The array 1 has 6 number also, 11, 22, so on until 66. And then we are going to put them together into a two-dimensional array. So we are combining the array in a way that we will take 1, put it in the second dimension 0, and then take the number 11, put it in the second dimension 1. So we are basically putting 1, 11, 2, 22, 3, 33, and so on and so forth, and put it in this two-dimensional array. So it means that it's like basically you can think of it as row and columns. So this array has 2 columns and 6 rows, and each row, because that's how we print it out, so each row has 2 numbers. So after we put the 2-dimensional array together, we would pass it into the function like we talked about earlier. And how we print it out is we will print out the I0 and then I1, and then we will print a end of line, and then we will go back and increment the I to the next one, and then we will print the j equals to 0 and then j equal to 1, and so on and so forth. Let's compile the program and then run it. I could do more testing and so on, but this looks pretty good to me. So this is the demo for how to use a multi-dimensional array or just 2-dimensional array and use it in a function. So you might consider using this to practice in your assignment. Next up, we will talk about your assignment. See you soon.